Have you ever been told by your dissertation chair your research topic is good, but your methodology doesn't fit? If so, you're not alone. One of the biggest mistakes doctoral students make isn't choosing a bad research topic, it's choosing the wrong qualitative methodology. A common mistake that at least I know I made is falling in love with a topic and then trying to force a methodology to fit. And rather than letting the research question guide the approach, I spent weeks building a case study framework before realizing my question was actually a phenomenological one. The detour cost me time I'll never be able to get back. And today I'm going to explain three of the most commonly confused approaches in qualitative research: phenomenology, case study, and grounded theory. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly when to use each one and avoid one of the biggest mistakes students make during their dissertation. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Edwin Brown, founder of QualiCoach, where I help graduate and doctoral students gain clarity and confidence throughout the qualitative research process. Let's get started. Section one: why this matters. Think of a methodology as choosing the right vehicle. If you're driving across the country, you wouldn't choose a bicycle. Likewise, if your research question is asking one thing, but your methodology is designed to answer something completely different, your committee is going to notice immediately. A strong dissertation starts with alignment. Your research problem, purpose statement, research questions, methodology must all fit together. That's why understanding these methodologies is so important. Section two: phenomenology. Let's start with phenomenology. Ask one simple question: what is it like to experience something? The focus isn't on solving a problem, it isn't on building a theory, it isn't on studying an organization. It's about understanding the lived experience of people who have all experienced the same phenomenon. For example, what are the lived experiences of first generation doctoral students completing online dissertations? Or what are the lived experiences of veterans seeking peer to peer mental health support after COVID 19? And the second example is actually very similar to my own dissertation. You're looking for common meanings, shared experiences, emotional perspectives, and how participants describe the phenomenon. And a typical sample size is around 5 to 15 participants who have all experienced the same phenomenon. Your end goal is to describe the essence of that shared experience. So remember, phenomenology explains understanding lived experiences. Section three: case study. Instead of asking, what is it like? Case studies ask, what can we learn from this particular case? The case becomes the unit of analysis. That could be a school, a nonprofit, or hospital, a military unit, a business, a counseling program, even one individual. You're studying something within its real world setting. For example, how did one university successfully improve dissertation completion rates? Or how did one veteran serving nonprofit implement poor support programming? You notice something. You're not trying to understand everyone's experiences. You're trying to deeply understand one bounded system. A case study usually uses multiple sources of evidence that might include interviews, observations, documents, reports, meeting notes, or archival records. The goal is to build a complete picture of that particular case. Think of it like creating a documentary about one organization or one program. Section four: the grounded theory. Now let's talk about grounded theory. Grounded theory asks a complete different question. Instead of describing experience or studying a case, grounded theory wants to answer, how does a process work? Its goal is to develop a new theory grounded in participant data. For example, how do doctoral students recover after failing their dissertation proposal? Or how do recovering veterans rebuild trust after completing substance abuse treatment? You're looking for platforms, stages, processes, actions, and decisions. Researchers constantly compare interviews to previous interviews while collecting data. This is called the constant comparative method. Eventually, a theory begins to emerge. Instead of describing experiences, you're explaining a process. The final product is a theory that came directly from participant data, not from existing literature. Section 5, the quick test. Here's an easy way to remember all three. Ask yourself what you're trying to understand. If you're trying to understand what was the experience like, choose phenomenology. If you're trying to understand what happens inside this specific organization, program, or setting, choose case study. If you're trying to explain how does this process happen, choose grounded theory. One question, three very different answers. In conclusion, choosing the correct methodology isn't about picking your favorite. It's about selecting the approach that best answers your research question. And when your methodology aligns with your purpose statement and research questions, your proposal becomes much easier to defend. If this video helped you better understand the differences between phenomenology, case study, and grounded theory, be sure to like and subscribe and share it with another researcher. And if you're currently working on your dissertation and need additional support, visit QualiCoaches.com. You'll find resources, templates, AI tools, and coaching design specifically for qualitative researchers. Thank you for watching, and I hope I see you in the next module.